Hi, today for our biryani recipe we are going to require turmeric powder. We'll need some mixed spices. We'll also use a bit of garam masala and pilau whole mix. We have potatoes, 4 of them cut into half. We also have our tomato paste. For the tomato paste I'm going to use about a spoonful. Then we have our onions, 2 large onions. Just cut them according to the shape and size that you require or you need. Mala and tomatoes, which you are going to blend later. Don't forget your ginger and garlic paste. So for the tomatoes we are going to add a bit of mala kidogo tu into the jar. Then you blend that out. That one will be used in our stew. First step is to brown our onions, which we are going to add into our stew later on. We need the golden color of the onions, so deep fry them in the pan or wherever. Then make sure you keep on turning them and don't add the onions in hot oil, otherwise they'll burn and you don't want them to burn. So after a while of tossing and turning them, you will remove them once you achieve that golden color. Then you put them aside. Once you've removed your onions, the next thing now will be to fry our ingredients. We'll start off with the ginger and the garlic in the same oil that we'd used to fry our onions. Add a bit of it, about 2 spoons. Then you fry your ginger and garlic paste. Also, on the same pan we are going to fry or coat our potatoes. Add turmeric inside the bowl and then stir them like so. Then now you'll be putting them in the hot oil. Then you coat them for about a minute. As our potatoes continue to coat, now we are going to proceed and continue with our cooking. We'll add our whole pilau mix inside of the pot. That will take only half a minute to cook. Then we'll proceed and add our meat. At every stage, remember to be frying your recipes for about a minute before you add the next thing. So for the meat here, we'll stir it, cook it for a while, make sure it's well cooked and the spices mix in well. Then we'll cover it up, add a bit of water, then wait for it to cook. Later on we'll proceed and add all the spices. Turn your potatoes and make sure that each side is well coated. This process takes about a minute for each side. So you'll remove them once they are completely done. They'll also be used at a later stage of this whole recipe preparation. Our meat has been cooking for a few minutes right now, and now we'll start adding our spices one by one. So here we have our Maggi cube. I only used one because I don't like very many spices in my food. So just crush it in there, stir, and wait for it to cook for a minute. Then you add your garam masala, just a bit of it also, according to the amount of spices that you consume. Personally, I don't use much. Stir at every stage of adding every other spice. Then now we add our mixed spices, which of course I'm also going to add a little bit of it. I don't want my food to taste all spicy and all. Once you stir that up, add a bit of water, just a little bit, to allow all the spices to mix well with the meat and coat well. So we are going to cover this up so that it cooks for about 5 minutes. Then now we go to the next stage. After about 5-6 minutes, our meat is now ready. As you can see, oh, by the way, I'm using mutton, or is it mbuzi? So you can either use chicken or beef, whichever you prefer. So the next thing we are going to do is to add our stew, the one we had blended tomatoes and a bit of mala. So you'll add that in right there. You stir a bit, let it cook for about a minute before you add the rest of the mala to create enough stew for you and your family. All this depends on how big your family is, or how much of the stew you would like to have right there. After adding your mala, of course, now we'll add our 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. You can measure or just use my technique. Add a bit of salt to your liking. Then now the final stage will be dipping in our coated potatoes. This one will bring the yellow color that you see in the biryani recipes. And then now lastly you add your fried onions. These ones will help in bringing out all the flavors and everything that you need in our biryani. Stir it well and cover it up to simmer on low heat until it's well cooked and all the potatoes are done and you have your stew. Finally, if you like, or if you don't, you can use a bit of vinegar, or what do we call this, lemon, to your liking, of course. So as our biryani stew is cooking, the last stage of this entire recipe is to prepare the rice. So in your sufuria, of course, bring water to a boil, having added oil and a bit of salt. For the water and to the amount of rice that you're going to prepare, that's on you. That's according to how you do it. So it's nothing really special. Cook the rice the ordinary way that you always do. Then once the water has come to a boil, add the rice and cover it up. Wait for it to cook for the 10 minutes or so. Then after that, now we'll go into the last and the final step, which will be coloring our rice, so that we can bring that nice yellow, white and a bit of orange-ish color which comes with the biryani rice. checking on our stew is almost done and ready, but still I'd like for it to simmer a bit more so that we have that thick stew. I like it when it's not too watery. Finally, our stew is done and ready. As you can see, everything is cooked well. It has a nice color. So for the rice, we're going to use a food color. The first coloring, it will be a bit concentrated, so it will be a bit more darker than the second one. So you just pour it around in whichever design that you desire. Then now make another paste which is lighter. You pour in the other part also. Don't just pour it all over. You need the white parts to be visible. So cover your rice for about 2 minutes. Wait for all the liquid that you've added to dry out, and now your rice will be good to go. Mix it well so that it has those nice patches of white, yellow, orange-ish color that brings the nice look on the biryani. And now here is our well cooked biryani. Please remember to share this recipe with your friends. Try it out yourself and leave me a comment down below telling me what you'd like to see next. A disclaimer, this is my way of doing it and I believe it's the best. Bye.